just excited to be here today.
A sizable cabinet shuffle that aimed to strengthen and stabilize Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's cabinet, instead today overshadowed by an NDP letter that puts the Prime Minister's political future in jeopardy. In a letter to Canadians, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says no matter who is leading the Liberal Party, this government's time is up. We will put forward a clear motion of non-confidence in the next sitting of the House of Commons. With that letter, Trudeau has lost all support in the House. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has been repeatedly pushing for an early election and took it one step further today.
I will be writing the Governor-General, asking her to urgently reconvene Parliament and require a non-confidence vote so the Prime Minister can judge whether he stays in power.
This all coming as the Prime Minister made significant changes to his inner circle.
Why do you still have confidence in the Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister is the Prime Minister.
Who today face repeated questions about their leader's future.
This is a time for unity. This is a time for us to stand together.
The Prime Minister has been very focused on working with his cabinet, working with his government on Canadians' priorities.
4 current cabinet ministers were moved into new positions or saw their portfolios changed, while 8 new faces joined the Prime Minister's cabinet, although already faced with harsh realities.
I understand there's going to be a short runway. I'm not blind to that. But if I can make a small difference, if I can make a big difference, I want to make the biggest difference that I can. That's why I joined politics in the first place.
So far, Prime Minister Trudeau has not yet directly addressed Chrystia Freeland's sudden resignation on Monday, leaving the biggest question still unanswered. What will his next move be?
The writing is on the wall. It's on the ceiling. It's on the carpet. It's everywhere.
Now, all of this couldn't come at a more critical time for this country. President-elect Donald Trump's tariff threat, now exactly a month away, with concerns it could send Canada's economy into a recession. Heather?
And Jeremy, we just heard briefly from the Prime Minister. What did he have to say?
Yeah, exactly, Heather. The Prime Minister stopped in front of reporters' cameras for the first time all week. Still did not directly answer what happened on Monday with Chrystia Freeland, but finally spoke to reporters for the first time, really just moments ago. Here's what the Prime Minister had to say.
Are you considering proroguing?
We just had an excellent cabinet meeting that was almost entirely focused on the Canada-U.S. dynamic. We know how important it is for Canadians that we be there to protect not just the Canadian economy, but their jobs, the cost of living challenges they're facing that could get worse.
After another whirlwind day on Parliament Hill, the Prime Minister says a great cabinet meeting. And Heather, we still have no indication as to what his next step might be.
Okay, Jeremy, thank you for this. And let's bring in CTV's chief political correspondent, Vashi Kapelos. Vashi, a lot going on here this week, rounding off with an incredibly busy day today. We just heard that very brief address from the Prime Minister, but he hasn't really addressed any of the main issues or addressed the nation.
Yeah, Heather, I'm actually blown away by that clip and how brief, as you put it, or as you rightly characterize it, it was. I mean, this week started off with Chrystia Freeland, his top cabinet minister, the deputy prime minister of this country, quitting and saying that they were at odds over the future path of Canada and at odds about how to respond to Donald Trump. That threat, as Jeremy rightly points out, still looms very large. He made a couple of jokes to Liberal Party donors and the Liberal Party Christmas party. And other than that, this comment is the only thing we've heard. No direct comment about the prospect of prorogation, no direct comment about his own leadership. It is, I guess, confounding, to say the least, that there is no desire to speak more directly to Canadians about what has been an incredibly chaotic week against the backdrop of, as Jeremy and you put it, such a serious threat from south of the border.
Absolutely. Okay, and Vashi, what are his options?
Well, his options, I think, if you look at them plainly, are stay or go. Politically, it seems very, very hard to see the path to staying, given the number of MPs who are speaking out in his own caucus against him, given what Chrystia Freeland said, and given how they have performed in the most recent by-election, even where they shed 23 points. I think the options have very much narrowed for the Prime Minister, Heather.
Vashi, thank you for your time, as always.